Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be part number 4 of the cocktail table build. This is going to be the last part. We're going to go ahead and get it wired up and got to vacuum it out and everything. I got some wire here. I'm going to wire tie this open so that it doesn't come crashing down anymore on me. Let's test it. Yep, now it'll stay up. We don't have to worry about that. So let's get the PCB and stuff installed first, and then we can get it wired up. So I'm just going to mount this in here, put it on this wall right here. JAMA harness, so we get it plugged in. I'm gonna have to put another screw at the bottom still. These are our power wires, which we're not going to use actually. We have a power thing for it. And also I have to go in the house and get a power strip. So we'll use that as player 2. This is player 1. This is a power cord we're using rather than the other wires coming off the JAMA harness. This came with the kit. So this just plugs into the side. Make sure it's going in the right way. Okay. We have our monitor power. We need our VGA cable for the monitor. Gonna have to drill a hole in the cabinet somewhere for the power switch. Forgot to do that. I wonder if I have something out here I can just plug this in and I'll grab a power strip in a little bit, but I don't know what I do. Need 2 plugs. Let me see what I have. Okay, I went and just grabbed the power strip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole right over in this area here for my power wire. Partially through this side and partially through this side over here. Okay. Then we can stick this through. Got to get it plugged in and test it, make sure it comes on, And then we can start doing the buttons and joystick for the control panel. Turn it on, see what it does. Hopefully the monitor is turned on. It might not be. I might have to unbolt the monitor and take it back out, because it very well might be turned off. And it looks like it is. The game elf is flashing, so there's definitely power going to that. I guess I'll unscrew this and see what's going on. I know this plug, or the switches are over there. I wonder if I can tilt it. Yep. I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjustment here, because when I put the monitor in place all the way, it pushes on the power button. So I'm going to have to figure that out, which that should be pretty easy to fix. All right, give me a couple minutes here. Let me look at this. All right, I messed with the game out for a little bit. It's not coming up on the screen. So something's wrong with the board. I've had this happen one other time. I have another one coming tomorrow. So what I'll have to do is not mess with that until tomorrow. So let's at least, I'm gonna just make this video today and tomorrow. So what we're gonna do now is maybe we'll just get the control panels drilled out and together, so that that's out of the way for tomorrow. I need to figure out where I'm gonna put the buttons at, the placement of the buttons, which I need to grab my tape measure right here. We need to drill. We're gonna make that side, I think, player one, but we can always switch them around before I put the wires in, so that's not that big of a deal. But what I need to do is figure out my button configuration and my joystick. Let me grab a joystick here, because we got this plate that we have to, one of these are bigger than the other because I couldn't find two of them that were identical. I mean, they're the same, pretty much identical, but I wanted a blue one and a red one. So the red one is obviously bigger than the blue one. So we'll put the blue one on the side that is going to have player one and player two start buttons, because this will take up more room. So I need to line this up, try to figure out where I want to drill this, and I need to make sure I'm not going to hit the wood underneath. I think I can make it work like that. That looks good there. So that's going to be our joystick. And then we have to do player one and player two, but I want to try to stay down so we don't hit this brace right here. So that's 3/4 of an inch, that brace, plus the button is 1 1/8 inches. So 1/2 inch and 1/8 is just over 1/2 inch. So 3/4 plus 1/2 is 1 1/4. So we really should stay down about 1 3/8 for the player one and player two start. And then what I'll do is, this is almost 10 inches. So 5 and 5 is 10. So let's mark this at 4 1/4. And then we're gonna have 1/2 and 1/2 is 1 inch. So let's see what 4 1/4 does from the other side. Let's see how far apart they are. That should work out perfectly. So we're 4 1/4 from each side. So this is our player one and player two. And then we have to put our 3 buttons are right here in this area, which I kind of like how my finger spacement is. Might just do it just like that. Just kind of put my fingers here, and then we can just duplicate it on the other side. So let's get that drilled, just like that. So I gotta get an 1 1/8" drill bit. So let me go grab that and we'll get these drilled. Okay, I'm gonna use this box here to drill on. I have an 1 1/8" drill bit in the drill. So now we can drill all our holes here. Okay, I partially drilled through that side. Now we're going to go on the bottom side here and finish drilling them. These old drills are not real powerful. Let's come back on the front and hopefully we can just finish it through now. As long as these fit, we can use these three, and this is a template for the other side minus those. So what I want to do now is put a couple of these buttons just into the hole. I'm not going to screw them in yet because obviously we have to put the overlay on it, but we can at least, and it looks like we're just going to miss this brace right here. I'm hoping it's going to be real close. And then I need to drill 2 holes here and here, and I'm going to run a small screw. Actually, no. I need to put a screw. Maybe I'll just put 2 up top here and we'll just leave this loose on the bottom, because I think once that's screwed in up here, I don't think that's really going to lift up. But we might have to put 2 on the bottom too. Sometimes in the past I have let the bottom come off so that you can unscrew it and then put L brackets under there, but it's really hard to mess with it when you do that. So I'm trying to make it easy so that if there's ever a problem, you can just take these screws out and lift it off. Now these are the player 1 and player 2 buttons I got. They just have the guys on them. So it's a lot easier for the kids when they see 1 guy or 2 guys, you know. But what I want to do is see, I'm actually gonna have to put the nut on this one to see if we're gonna hit. The good thing is these holes, I have a little bit of room to work with. So I can always take it to the bottom edge. Tiny bit we're hitting, very tiny bit. I can always shave this if I need to, but I think we're gonna be all right. The only ones I'm worried about are the player 1 and player 2 start buttons. So now let's take this other control panel, and I'm just gonna see if I can lay this one on top like this, and we could drill these 3 holes and that joystick hole. And I just need to drill it enough to get a pilot hole. Just need a pilot hole. Perfect. Battery's dead. Grab the other battery here. Drilled. This is a little bit fuzzy from the paper. So I take my knife blade and just kind of scrape it down. Just like this. Just to flatten it out around those holes. I don't care if I tear the paper up a little bit. The overlay's going on it, and then the both buttons will be holding it all in place. I just don't want it to have it raised up. So now, once I get these cleaned up, we'll go over to the bench and we are going to put the overlay on, and we'll get all the buttons put in place and the joysticks mounted. And then I'll show you, we're gonna put the T-molding on the edge, but this wood is thinner than 3/4, so what we'll do is use my T-molding trimmer. I'll show you how that works. And I cannot remember where I bought it from. I don't know if I got it off of eBay or Amazon or something. I've actually had it for a few years, and I can't for the life of me remember where I bought it from, because I don't know if arcade shops and stuff sells it. Wipe this off on my shirt here. So let's go over to the bench. Raise this up a little bit. But this is the T-mold trimmer. It is quad, it's called a quad trimmer. So it'll trim both sides at the same time. Just grabbing the overlays over here real quick. What we're gonna do with the overlays is I wanna make sure that Retrocade shows at the bottom. That goes down by the T-molding. So this is that. Let's cut this in half. This has a lamination on it, a textured polycarbonate, carbonate, I don't know. Get this peeled off here. Try to line it up. I think that's good. Just trim it out. Nope, we're off a little bit. Good thing is, you can just peel it off again still. I think that's good now. Okay, I'm going to try to fold this edge over and have the T-molding hold it in place. We'll grab that T-molding. Okay, let's cut it. The reason why I wanted to fold it over is so that the kids don't try to pick at it and try to pick it off. Okay, now we're going to take the quad trimmer here. I've only used this a few times, but it has a blade on each side. You can actually, I don't know if you can cut both, yeah, you cut both sides at the same time. So you just put it over the T-molding, you squeeze down on it like that, and you just run it through, just like this. Started out good, but it sort of got bigger at the end there, I don't know why. Okay, now we're nice and smooth, top and bottom. I got a little tiny nipple there. There we go. Now we can cut out our holes. I do have a little plastic wrench for the buttons to tighten the nuts, but I left it in the house. I should be able to do it without it. You can use a pair of pliers too if you need to. Okay, this one's ready. Let's get the other one done. Same thing again. Okay. Stick this back in its box. Okay, let me go grab my buttons and put the buttons and joystick on. I gotta get some screws, which I have some over here. Okay. These are light up buttons, so we'll have to run power to them and everything afterwards. Need to get this clip off of here. And I dropped it. And I dropped that piece too. Guess I'll be fishing for that later, all three of them. Perfect. So now I need to line this up. I want to get it straight and parallel to the side. Pretty good there. Just gonna lightly set this down. I want to run my screws as far in as I can. Should be good there. Find these parts before I lose them all. Here's one. Okay, got everything I need. Put our light bulb in. And they just go in this way, and then they spin to clip in. And this is how I'm tightening the buttons, by using that. Maybe. I've had that problem with these chrome ones. Sometimes they don't want to go over those pegs. Well, broke that one. Luckily I have more in the basement. Does not want to go on this chrome piece. Now it clips on. As soon as I break it, it clips on. Go figure. Let me go grab a pair of pliers. I'm gonna have to tighten them that way. Let's see if these other ones will go on. Blue one. Jesus, dropping everything today. These are labeled, like these ones are blue because it says blue on them. I'm guessing these ones say white. No, it says blue too. Blue, blue, blue. Oh, here's a white one. I never had ones this tight. It's one. This one has the two prongs right next to each other. Move it over. Make sure that this is going the right way. Yes, it is. I want the wires to go towards the back. last blue one. Okay, those are done. Now these ones, I'm gonna have to point the player 1 and player 2, one this way and one this way, if I can, which I can't. So they're gonna have to point this way. They're just gonna be really tight. I'm missing one. There it is. I'll just take this white bulb from this one right now. Find the other one afterwards. I'll steal, I'll just leave it. We'll be missing one on this one until I get one from the house. So we're gonna have to put this one this way. I think we're gonna end up having to cut that bracket a little bit just on the player 1 side because these stick out, which I have that multi-tool that we can cut it down with. It's not a big deal. Okay, that one I can't put in right now. So now we can put the joystick back in, which this goes on here. This goes this way. Are you kidding me? Now what did I drop? Jesus. Then our spring. Then our cap. Then our clip. So there you go. I gotta straighten out that guy. He's crooked. Okay, so that's our player 1 side. Try not to drop everything this time. You guys, I mean, I don't recommend using a knife. I'm just how I do it. A little flathead screwdriver works best. Okay. This one I'm going to spin this way so that we don't have to worry about those cleats because we have plenty of room. What we're going to have to do is take this terminal and just bend it like that so that the wire can not hit the side of the cabinet. Wow, that lines up right at that edge of the wood. Makes it easy to line up, but it's close. That's the only downfall with these cocktail tables is they are very tight, these control panels. But you don't want to make them huge either, so that it's uncomfortable to sit at the table. Here's my other white bulb. After this, we'll lay them on there. We could drill them tomorrow. At least they'll be together. I gotta see what kind of screws I have. I don't know. I'll probably just gonna use some stainless steel screws. Since the buttons are chrome, they'll kind of blend in. Okay, put our joystick back together. That's already on there. Put this in there. Spring, top, which just goes this way. On these E-clips, you just got to get them started, and then you can take your pliers and just pop them on. Just like that. Let's go take these over to the cabinet and see what they look like. Okay, this has definitely got to get trimmed. You need to trim that one. I have to trim them both. I'm hitting on this one. I think I'm hitting on this. There it goes. Okay. So this one just makes it with that bigger joystick. Close. So that's what this side looks like. Let me go grab my saw and we'll notch out this one real quick. I don't want to take a ton off of this brace because I don't want to weaken it. It's going to go about 1/3 of the way through it, I think. piece I took out, so now we'll see if it fits. Not worried about the dust. I gotta vacuum everything out. Okay, I'm hitting a little bit on these two screws for the joystick to see where they're at. Beautiful. It's in there. They fit. So we will finish this up tomorrow. I need to mess with that monitor a little bit. I just need to notch this out just a little bit right there for the power button so it's not hitting on the piece of wood. I'm just gonna take a little drill bit and make a little indentation. So, all right, I will see you guys tomorrow. I will finish this video up tomorrow when I get that other game elf board. All right, guys, welcome back. I got the new board and it is working. So I am going to work on wiring up these buttons. I gotta run back in the house. I forgot the other thing for the player 1 start, but this is the player 2 start. So what I had to do when I ran the JAMA harness is I had to take the player 2 start wire out of that side and run it over to this side. Now my JAMA wires here, we'll have to cut these off after we're done using the negative ones so that we can finish using them on the other side. And I need to run a jumper wire from this side over to that side for the negatives. Okay, so first, button 1, 2, 3. So button number 1 is blue. So we'll put that on first. Second one is purple. Now I'm just gonna bunch up the extra wires and leave them in the bottom of the control panel area in case something ever changes or they need them for something else in the future. So purple is 2, button number 3 is gray. Still gotta hook the ground wires up. I can't hook up player 1 and player 2 yet. So now we need our ground wires. So let's start with the ground wire over here. And these are already series together. We do need to get a ground wire for the lights as well, for the LED light buttons, which we'll have to jump off of one of these. Now I need to leave one open right here because this is for the other player start button. And then we can come over to the joystick. Oh, I gotta get a plug for that too. So let me fish this through here. Let's do the, let me go in the house and get what I need. Because this side is different than that side. This one has a plug, the other side does not. It actually traditionally wires up. So let me go grab that and I'll come back and we'll finish wiring up this side. Okay, I got this side wired up. I had to figure out which wires went to the joystick because the wiring harness I had were all white wires. So I found out that the farthest one this way was ground, and then it went up, down, right, left. Player 1 and player 2 are wired in. The red and black wires, this is gonna go to 5 volts, this is ground. That's gonna light up the 5 buttons. I left the extra harness long. I put a zip tie on it, and that's all I want to do is just leave it in the bottom because I want to leave length in case anything ever changes. For any reason, somebody needs another wire or they want to do something different with it, they can. So these 2 wires coming out of here, this is going to go to my 5-volt power supply. This is the ground wire, which is going to go over to the other set of buttons and joystick. And this, after this red wire goes to the ground or to the power supply, it's going to jump off the power supply and go into that control panel to power the 3 lights on those buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and wire up those next. I'm not going to do it on camera because it takes a little bit of time to make all the jumper wires from one to the other. But I'll come back afterwards and I'll show you both sides done, lit up, and the game complete. Oh, and I need to, I am going to hook up the coin button just so it's hooked up. If he wants to put a tray in here and take quarters, he can. I didn't make a tray there, so I have to cut these ends off and put bigger ends on so I can attach it to here. This did not come with a light, so we're not going to light it. I don't have. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to wire in the coin switch, and like I said, I don't have a light for that, but I'm not too worried about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this wired up, and then I'll show you guys the final product. All right, it's all wired up. I still have to test it. I also have to go into the settings and put it on free play, but the coin mechanism is hooked up. Got a switching power supply, have a surge protector power strip with the hole drilled so you can reach in and turn it on and off. So basically what I need to do now is get into settings. I have not tried the buttons yet either. So I need to get into the settings. So I think I have to turn it off and back on, and then when it says test menu, I can get into the settings. So let me turn this on. There's a button right here. Okay, I press the test button. Not doing anything yet. I just don't want to shut the lid yet until I make sure that it goes into the, okay. So let's undo this wire that I had holding this open. We'll shut the lid and we will check it, or set it up for free play and all that stuff. I don't know how well you guys can see this. Actually, it's not too bad. I haven't navigated through one of these in a long while, so let's see here if I can remember. So now we need to go to cabinet is not upright, so select the item. It says push player 1 to enter. A to cancel, so that's not what I want to do. I don't know what to do. Guess I'll press player 1. I don't know that I did anything. I think I did it wrong. So I'm gonna have to wait and see what happens. I'm probably gonna have to go back into test mode. I wonder if I should probably look at the instructions here, since like I said, it's been a while since I've messed with one of these. Now it's probably going to start the game again. Yep, so I need to get back into test mode when it tells me to. Hit the test button. Any day now. Might have to turn it off and back on. There we go. Now I need to figure out how to navigate through that. System mode. Edit games. Coin settings. Display mode. Oh man. Need to turn it off and back on. Cabinet type, okay. You gotta get ready here because I think you only have a couple seconds to hit this, or a second to hit this button. Come on. All right, I'm gonna have to do this off camera because this is apparently gonna take a while. Or at least get into the menu. Okay, I had to leave it off for like 30 seconds before I turned it back on. I turned it back on too soon. Okay, so now my cabinet type, cocktail. According to the screen display prompts, perform the operation step by step. All vertical versions of the game are loaded in cocktail mode. Okay, I figured out that I reset it to cocktail, so cocktail is the default setting now. I wasn't paying attention. The number 3 is upright, number 4 is cocktail. So it's set to cocktail now. Now I need to go down to coin settings because I want to put this on free play, and it's already set for flip screen. So we got to hit the player 1 start. Okay, coin mode, recycling, free play. We're gonna go down to free play, and it says C to change, start, player 1 to save, A to quit. So we wanna hit C button, and that switched it to yes. So now we wanna get out of here, which I think if I just hit A, we're out. Let me go back into coin setting to make sure that it didn't change. Yeah, see, it changed. So we need to go down to here, and we need to hit C, and then we hit player 1 start to save. What sucks is, I think this is all I need to do, but it just sucks because when it is saving done, okay, player 1, A. Okay, now we're back into that. So now we have it set on free play, and we also have it set on cocktail. So player 1 and player 2 should switch sides. So let's go to exit here. We'll hit the player 1 start, and it should boot up to the game, and I think we're set. What happened was when I went to the default cocktail, it reset. It wouldn't let me do any other settings in the menu. So just for play here, it says free. So let's hit 2 player button. How do I do this? Okay, 2 pair. There we go. So it should be set for 2 player on Miss Pac-Man. Oh, okay. There we go. Now I'm just gonna kill myself here. I wanna make sure all up, down, right, left works, which it does. So let me run into a ghost here. Come here. Really? Okay, now it should flip screen to the other side. We can check this joystick. Okay. Right, left, down, up. Okay, the only other thing I need to test now is the A, B, and C button. So I think there's a way to get out of this game by holding down the player 1 start, release now, go down to exit, hit the start button to confirm. Okay, now we're back out in the main menu. Now I'm trying to think what game would use all 3 buttons. Galaxian's gonna use 1. Dig Dug's gonna use 1. Mr. Do's gonna use 1. What is that game that uses 3? I actually like this 412-in-1 a lot better than the 60-in-1 because it's just a nicer screen, menu screen and all that stuff. That 60-in-1 is so generic looking, in my opinion. Gunsmoke, I think that has all 3 buttons. I'm pretty sure it does. So let's hit player 1 start. If you hit the player 1 start, it loads into the game, and then you can hit player 1 or player 2 to start the game. So we're gonna hit player 2. And then we'll hit it a second time, now where you have both players. So now we could try, I'm pretty positive this uses all 3 buttons. I haven't played this game in a long, long time. So there's my right, left, there's my fire. Straight ahead fire, yep, okay. A fires to the left, B goes in the center, C is to the right. So let's just try that over here, and then we'll know that all our buttons are operating correctly. Then the only other thing I need to do is just screw down these control panels and I'm done. Wipe it down and it's out of here. So there's my left, right, there's my left fire, straight fire, and my, oh, we're all working. And I got killed. All right, guys, that's gonna end this. This is, I think, part 4. I videoed this over a couple days because that circuit board gave me problems. But this is all done, and I do have another project coming. It's being delivered from Fastenal from Colorado. It is coming from the One Up Arcade in Colorado. The guy has 3 of them out there, 3 arcades. I had reached out on Facebook. I was looking for a empty Burger Time cabinet because I have the PCB, I have the power brick, I have a wiring harness and all that, but I didn't have a cabinet. And I could have built a new cabinet, but I wanted an original cabinet because I have all the original hardware, so it would be nice to just put it in an original cabinet. He had messaged me one morning at like 5:30 in the morning and said he had one and he was willing to get rid of it because he had too many projects. So he just shipped it today, dropped it off of Fastenal in Colorado. So I'll probably have it in a week or 2. I don't know if that's gonna be one of the next cabinets I work on or not because I still gotta get the stencils. I do wanna paint the sides of that cabinet like they originally did. So I'm gonna get the 3-piece stencils. We might cut them ourselves. I gotta price out how much it costs for a roll of stencil material. If it's too expensive to buy a roll of stencil material, I'll just order them from a company because I don't really have a lot of use for a whole roll of stencil material. But maybe I can get lucky and not have to buy a big, huge roll of it. So that is gonna be one of the next upcoming projects. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.